One second. There we go. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good. Ladies and gentlemen, they finally showed up last night. The losing streak is over. The Knicks overcame Indiana last night, and the final score was 92-84. Defensive game, we didn't score over 100. The best part is Indiana was held under 100 points. And that third quarter, although they outscored us 25-21, we still came through with the victory. Emmanuel quickly. Derrick Rose. Man, it's good to be back. It's good to have a positive game. Let's get my partner in here, see what he got to say about the game from last night. Mitchell Robinson went down, starting to look a little bit scary for Mitch. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's a weight problem, but he can't seem to stay healthy. But let's get him in here. Overall, it was a good defensive team game last night. There was some key players, but we'll talk about that with Zenray from Zenray Sports TV. I am Juby the Tubi, and you're here with family above everything. Let's get right to it.
It kind of remind me back the games back in the '90s with Ewing and against the old Indiana Pacers. Juby, what an interesting game last night. Welcome.
Good morning. The streak is over. Thankfully, no more losing streak. I was just telling the chat. Defensive game. I know we only scored 92. It's nothing to be crazy about, but it was an old style basketball game. We held the team under 100 points. We only let Indiana score 84 points, and that was beautiful to see.
Yeah, I expected Rich Smits and Reggie Miller to be coming out. Time kind of Indiana rivalry had back then. But yeah, this is the kind of game when the Knicks hold the opponents at 84 points, only 10 points in the fourth quarter. You know the Knicks' defense intensity is high. They were running up to their three-point line. They were guarding the three-point line. Miles Turner had 25, 26 points. His numbers were non-existent. They played very good defense on him. The Knicks were 0 for 9 in that three-point range in that first quarter. It kind of worried me. It seems like the Knicks shooting
it's going down.
It's off. They were very hot in the beginning of the year, and now they really tailed off in the last 5 games, man. But they won it with the defense. That's how you win ball games. We spoke about it, Juby. Defense will win you games. Your offense will come. RJ Barrett, slow start, pull some daggers, some nice threes toward the end of the game to, kind of win the game for us. Not win the game for us, but kind of ice the game for us toward the end. So RJ Barrett didn't have a great game, but he started coming at the end. But where RJ Barrett and Julius Randle did what they didn't do the night before, that defense intensity, that energy, they were hungry. This whole unit and Alex Burks. How valuable is Alex Burks?
I'm sold on Alex Burke, man. I mean, I wasn't sold on him. You know, I haven't. I mean, you know, I've been fighting with you and with the media about Alex Burke all season. I've been wanting to get some minutes away from him, but he's kind of sticking my foot in my own mouth, and I like what I see from Alex Burke. But what I'm impressed about, man, is the man who stirs the drink, to quote a great philosopher, Zenray. Julius Randle didn't have an explosive game like he said, but as a leader, he demonstrated what a team, what it means to just be a leader by just playing aggressive defense. Didn't contribute as much as in the offense. He only had 11 points, but he had 11 rebounds, ladies and gentlemen. Remember the other day I argued that LaMelo Ball had more rebounds than somebody who's 6'8", 6'9". How is that possible? But he ended up with 11 boards last night. RJ Barrett, again, like you said, had a slow start. He came through in the clutch in the fourth quarter. But let's talk about Emmanuel quickly and the Derrick Rose dynamic. That's the new dynamic duel of the bench, which is something amazing to watch. And of course, Kemba Walker played a pretty solid game. I know he had a couple of hiccups, but defensively he was great. His assists can be up a little bit more, but so far I like what I see, man.
Yeah, you had the bench. I think the 3 heroes last night in the bench, I would say, was, you mentioned Rose quickly, and you have to have Taj Gibson. And Taj Gibson. And Brooks is there, obviously. But Taj Gibson, look, Let me tell you how much of a warrior Mitchell Robinson is. People are criticizing, oh, he's injured, this and that. But yeah, he's played injured. He played with an ankle injury yesterday. He played through it. Obviously, couldn't play the whole game. He kind of re-aggravated it again. He's going to probably play again. He's going to play injured. He's a warrior. And Thibodeau is putting that in his mind. If he can move, you can play. He played on 16 minutes. Look, with Mitchell Robinson not playing, not having Noah Lowell, when you have a Taj Gibson on your bench, it shows you how valuable. I remember at one point last year we were speaking. Taj Gibson was this third man off the bench, or a guy who probably going to go playing time. How valuable has he been since last year? So with the value of that bench, having Taj Gibson there, with now quickly the way he's playing, 16 points off the bench, amazing play and quickly. Derrick Rose doing his 17 points game last night. Taj Gibson did score a lot of points, but he's pulled on like 8 rebounds. We'll go over the numbers in a few. How valuable in the second unit. The Knicks second unit, top 5 in the NBA, I would say, in terms of the best second unit in the league. So that's impressive in itself. Juby, what did you think of Randall at one point when he was coming down to in the fourth quarter, and he was trying to do bully ball and trying to drive in, and he had 3 men around him. And the last minute, he decided he passed it quickly in the corner and quickly nailed that 3. This is the Julius Randle we need to see. What'd you think of that play, Juby?
It just shows how much he's matured. Last year's Julius Randle would try to do a fadeaway, or he would have tried to draw the foul, or he would have discombobulated and dropped the ball, and it would have been a turnover because he is still the turnover king of New York City right now. But it just shows how much he's grown and how much more he's trusting his teammates, and that is key to winning. Is him trusting his teammates. It's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta tell you, man, this team is looking great. I know we have started off hot, then we get a couple of hiccups, we get on a little losing streak, but collectively, I like what I see. My only key fear is Mitchell Robinson, and I know you just said that he's a warrior and that he'll get it together. He's playing hurt. But time and time again, every year, Mitchell Robinson just cannot stay healthy long term. And to be honest with you, man, I'm me personally as a Knicks fan who bleeds orange and blue, is kind of at a point where it's like, you know what? If Mitchell Robinson can't cut it, and I'm saying he can't, but if he can't stay healthy, maybe it's time to see what we can get for him and package him so we can up our team's bench. Because Evan Fournier, I know he played good defense last night, but not the same Evan Fournier that we saw at the beginning of the season. 7 points last night. Shot is not there. The 3-point shots is not falling like they were in the beginning of the season. And that's why we acquired him, to open up the offensive floor. And it seems like it's just not happening right now.
Yeah, I see right now the way Brooks is playing. I could see Brooks jumping in that Fournier spot if he continues to struggle. Fournier is going to snap out of it. Listen, he was hot the first 5 games of the year, 4 or 5 games. He played well, and then it was Walker who was not doing well. And then now Walker's starting to play well. Fournier is taking a step back. The thing with Fournier is that he needs rhythm. He has to have some kind of rhythm, and he hasn't been confident enough. And then what I've been noticing is he's been timid. I guess whatever Coach Tibbs been talking on the sidelines, he's been taking it to heart that he has to get other players involved. And he has a couple of times he had a shot, and he's just passing the ball. Look. And I know Thibodeau mentioned in his press conference, he wants the guys, when you're open and it's a good shot, take the shot. I mean, look, he has to take the shot even if he misses it. And I think a few times, he was only 1 from 4 from 3-point range and 3 from 9 from the field. But there was a couple of times he was open and he just passed the ball out. So maybe he thought that he had an off night. He only shot 1 for 4, like I said, from 3 and 3 from 9 from the field. So he didn't shoot very well. He was a -10. He only had 7 points in 24 minutes of play. That'll come. I'm not really too concerning about that right now. But when you have a guy like Brooks, last night, 22 minutes of play, 2 of 6 from the field, 2 for 6 from the 3-point range, 2 for 3 from the free throw line, 1 assist, 1 rebound, and he was a +9. He had 8 points. What his play is the defensive end. Yeah. Did you see the defense that Brooks was doing? Now, Brogdon was killing Kemba in that third quarter. I mean, roasting and toast. That's why they took that big 12-point lead. And I was saying, oh, my God.
Here we go again.
Get Kemba out of there. What they do, they put Brooks in, And you didn't hear Brogdon's name ever again. Because why? The intensity of Burks' defense is so important. What he does on the offense side is cherry on top, and he can play on the offensive side. He can play point guard. But what he does in the defensive end, what turned the tide last night between him, his defense, and Quickly's energy off the bench, offensively scoring 16 points. That was the winning formula last night. And having Taj Gibson come in and doing the dirty work. Now, Taj Gibson in 29 minutes of play, I mean, his numbers in terms of points only had 2 points, but he had 3 offensive rebounds, 5 defensive rebounds. He had 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block shot, a plus 22. He had only 2 points, but we don't have him to score. We have him do the dirty work. And Taj Gibson, Burks, and Quickly, those 3, as I mentioned before, were the heroes for me in that Knicks bench last night.
Yeah, and it seems like the bench is just bailing us out night after night. Although last night the defense, I guess Tom Thibodeau had it, and he had a good sit down with them and a good practice, and they all came out. I mean, they came out a little bit flat, like you said, in the third quarter, where I was kind of scared. I was like, oh, here we go again. Tom Thibodeau, I saw him, call a timeout, frustrated, and then they turned it back on again. But these are little things that I like to see. I like to see fire and desire, just like that Kemba Walker technical last night. I thought it was amazing to see Kemba Walker. Although I don't want to be negative, you need that kind of aggravation, that energy. It shows you that you care about the game, rather than sit there and just say, it is what it is, and you're having a bad game and you're going through it, and then you get taken out, and then Derrick Rose comes in. This guy Kemba Walker, man, like I said, I know we kind of shipped his sail. Last week we were kind of saying maybe his days are numbered, but
I agree, yeah.
But if he can play like he did last night, that's all I need from him. I would love his assists. He only had 2 assists. You being a point guard maestro of the team, you should at least have what Derrick Rose is doing, which is 7 assists. As a starter, you should be able to do that.
If I can get 20 minutes of play, that's what he played last night. 8-11 from the field. He was 0-4 from the 3-point range. So he didn't shoot a lot of threes, which I like, but he was driving to the basket. He was good at easy baskets. I mean, yeah, he had 1 rebound, 2 assists, negative 15, but that whole first unit's always in the negative for some reason. Yeah. It's just the cohesiveness not there. But when you score 16 points in 20 minutes, I'll take that every day from Kemba.
Yeah.
Every day. So, and then you have Rose come in, 25 minutes of play. He's 7-14 from the field, 0-4 from 3-point. So his 3-point range wasn't hitting from 3 points, but he had 4 rebounds, a total of 7 assists. So 5 rebounds, 7 assists, and he only had 1 turnover. It was a plus 21 with 14 points. So plus 22 for Taj Gibson and plus 21 for Rose. And then you have Quickly with a plus 20. That's what I'm saying. Those 3 guys are the heroes of the game. Those are the guys that won the game for us. First, Gibson with his strong, dirty work play down low. Then you had Derrick Rose doing what he does. And not only he does it scoring, but he had 7 assists.
Yeah.
7 assists, and he had 5 rebounds. And he did that in 25 minutes of play.
Taj Gibson is reminding me of the Charles Oakley of the 90s Knicks. You don't see nothing on the stats that's going to blow your mind. But if you, as a Knicks fan, you watch that game and you see all the dirty stuff he does, all the beatings he takes from players, and just him fighting, it's a beautiful thing to see. It gives you that old school vibe of basketball, which is kind of lost in the NBA today. Now big men are all shooting threes and staying on the outside wing. So I love to see Taj Gibson, battle it out down in the paint. And, I think that's a lost art in the NBA right now. And, like I said, if the team keeps doing what they're doing, they're going to be all right, man. They got a 3-point struggle right now. We knew that 3-point percentage was going to come down a little bit because they were just started off the season hot. Do I think they're going to shoot a little bit better? Absolutely. I mean, last night was just an off night when it came to shooting for them. But like you said, defense wins games.
Yeah, getting back to Taj Gibson, and defense does win games, and that's what Gibson is there for, his defensive play. But my only concern with Gibson is he's taking a lot of minutes so far. He played almost 30 minutes last night.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you're going to need him down the stretch, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the situation with Mitchell Robinson being hurt and Noel being hurt, putting all these minutes on Taj Gibson, he's not a young cat no more. That's my concern that he may break down. So the Knicks have to kind of taper down his minutes. I mean, obviously you can't if he can't. Jericho Sims is not ready by any means of imagination, but they're going to have to do something because if Mitchell Robinson will play injured and he'll play 15, 16 minutes, but by playing him injured, he's just aggravating the injury more and more. So I see Taj Gibson getting more playing time. My only concern is piling up his minutes on a guy who's about 36 years of age. But let me go over the numbers last night. The Knicks only shot 43% from the field. They only shot 32% from the 3-point range, and they were 70% from the free throw line. So 7 for 10 from the free throw line.
They need to bring that up a little bit more. I think 10 free throws is not enough.
They need to get to the basket more, 10 times. So I mean, it is what it is. They out rebounded them 46-48. The Knicks had 22 assists. They only had 16. The Knicks had 5 block shots. Indiana had 6. We had 12 turnovers. They had 9. And they scored 12 points out of those turnovers. So those turnovers were deadly for us. Like giving those 12 turnovers. And the Knicks only scored 4 out of their 9. Points in the paint, the Knicks edged them 42-40. That's big there. And the Knicks, the highest lead they had was 8 points, and that's what they won by basically. And the largest lead was 12 for Indiana. I think the Knicks are on the right track. I love the fact that Thibodeau made this move. There was at one point you had Rose, Burks, quickly in the lineup, and you had Barrett and Randall. And that was interesting because when you had those players in there, and then when Rose was in there, you had Burks in there, but quickly, and then you had Burks and Rose. The combination was great, and then you had Barrett in there. I love the fact that he brought his best defensive unit. So it tells you, Kemba and Fournier, if you're not playing defense in the fourth quarter, I don't see Kemba and Fournier being in that. What you saw last night is what you're going to see normally. I don't think you're going to see Kemba and Fournier because if you don't play defense, the Knicks held them to only 10 points.
Yeah.
10 points.
Yeah.
They took 2 shots in that fourth quarter toward the end. That defense of the Knicks were
amazing.
Was mauling. And you can only do that with players that play the high intensity defense. Unfortunately, Kemba and Fournier are not there yet. So with that said, I mean, I'm going to go over a little bit of the numbers of Indiana. I mean, Sabonis had his 21 points. He was a +1. Holiday came in because their rookie didn't play last night. So Holiday started in 31 minutes of play at 8 points. Miles Turner, he only had 3 points, Juby.
Wow.
Compared to his 26 points last time, toasting and roasting the Knicks.
Now, he shot an air ball from 3-point range. I saw that, and the crowd went crazy. That was a sight, man. That was really a sight.
Chris Duarte was a player that didn't play. Their rookie didn't play last night. He had some kind of shoulder injury. So Drew Holiday played 31 minutes. I like Drew Holiday. He's a very good defensive player. But Turner, in 32 minutes, he was 1 for 4 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3. And he only had 3 rebounds, 2 blocks, 1 steal. He was a +1. He only had 3 points. I mean, that's big. When you hold this guy who torched you, and Brogdon, in 37 minutes of play, he was a guy who was doing, Brogdon and Sabonis were killing the Knicks. But what happened in that fourth quarter, when they put that defensive unit toward the third quarter to stop Brogdon and Sabonis, you didn't hear these guys no more. That tells you that the defense intensity with that lineup of Burks, quickly, RJ, Taj, and Randall, and then you intertwine, you put Rose in there, you take Brooks out, and vice versa. Then that's the core Knicks ending defensive unit you have to end with. If you do that, the Knicks are going to win a lot of games, especially Taj Gibson. You have to have him there at the end of the game. Mitchell Robinson healthy, obviously put Mitchell Robinson, but at the end, I feel comfortable with Taj Gibson. He's experienced. He knows what to do. He plays that dirty bully ball if he has to. The Knicks have something. They found something, and that's why Thibodeau waits 20 games, 22 games to get an evaluation, and then he'll find his lineup. The only thing I wish is that Obi Toppin would get more playing time. That's my only pet peeve. He only played 16 minutes last night. not bad. I mean, 60 minutes of play, Oberlin had 4 points, but he was a plus 10. He was active on the rebounds, had 4 rebounds. He only had 1 turnover. I mean, his shooting was in there last night with 4 points, but his intensity, his energy. You saw that slam dunk he did on that poor guy? Oh, was nasty. Was nasty.
The only concern I have moving forward, man, is like I said, is Taj Gibson playing so many minutes.
Right.
That's what makes me to believe that the deals won't be done. I think there's one more move in February. The Derrick Rose move that we made last season, which brought us to the team that we are now. I think something is going to happen by the deadline. I don't think right now. I think, like you said, Tom Thibodeau is still working out kinks and seeing what he has and everything like that. But if Mitchell Robinson can't stay healthy and Lorenz Noel is going to be out from time to time as well, they're going to need to bring in a big man. I mean, I would like to say let's focus on a point guard, but if Kemba Walker shows up the way he did last night and Derrick Rose and quickly and Burks keep doing what they're doing, then maybe it's better for us to just focus in on a body that's down low that we can just pick up, that can come in and give us some minutes just in case Mitchell Robinson is not there or Lorenz Noel.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, those are right now it's early, so the Knicks are probably there's a couple of big men I was hearing that they could go after. But right now you stick with Mitchell Robinson. He's still healing from that left ankle. North Noel still has that sprained right knee. So you have issues there, obviously. Thank God we have a Taj Gibson. Thank God. I see Jericho Sims playing a few minutes here and there until this gets resolved. The good thing is we're at home from now on.
Yeah, we got the Magic tonight. I mean, tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, excuse me.
So we've got the Magic, and then we have who do we play on Saturday against?
Rockets.
So we should go on a nice little 3-game winning streak here. I think not looking ahead, we should beat Orlando after what Orlando did to us.
Yeah,
and the
payback
Rockets
tomorrow night.
are an expansion team, basically. They have some talent, but I think we can go on a nice 3-game winning streak that should motivate the team. I see the Knicks okay right now. I'm not worried about Julius. I'm not worried about Barrett. Sometimes if they play the way they play and they play off their defense, they're going to score. I like the fact that Kemba Walker is driving down the middle of the lane doing this little floaters. I saw a lot of impressive things. And quickly is the last 3 games you saw he's getting hot. He brought the team back. He was 4 for 4 from the 3-point range. And he has that little dance that he has when he scores. I love it.
Yeah,
I'm saying?
And I saw where he missed and got his own offensive rebound, and then got fouled, and then started waving to the crowd, and that's the kind of stuff that you love. I mean, if you're at the game and the Knicks are fighting for that score, and it's a close game, when you see something like that, that's what gets you out of your seat, and that's what us as fans we appreciate is the small things like that.
So the most important thing, your fourth quarter. Our weakest quarter seems to be the third quarter for some reason. It's because I think the starting unit is stale. But as soon as we inject that second unit in there, it's a whole different team. The Knicks limit the Pacers to 2 baskets. Think about it, 2 baskets in the fourth quarter. And they only scored 10 points. They only 2 baskets. 2 baskets in the fourth quarter. They only got 10 points. If you can do that, the Knicks are going to win a lot of ball games. This is the old Knick defense from the 90s. Starks and Oakley and Mason and Ewing. This is the Knick defense. And if the Knicks play this type of ball, the Knicks are going to win a lot of games. They have to play off their defense. With that said, Juby, I don't know if you have anything to say. We'll be on Thursday morning.
Yes, sir.
And we'll recap the show back then. Juby, any last departing words? So let's go New York, go New York, go.
No, sir. Just the key word of the day is defense. We came to it. We showed up. And it was an amazing thing to see last night.
And getting to your continuity, I think you used the word in the last show that we have to have that continuity. We're starting to have it a little bit. That first unit is still lost. It's not there yet. But thank God we have that second unit.
Thank
that
God.
Second unit for me is probably one of the best in the NBA. It's probably top 5. I have to look the numbers up. They're probably top 5 in the NBA. With that said, let the universe inspire us all to have love and peace in our hearts, knowing that the best is yet to come. Go New York, go New York, go Juby. I'll see you on Thursday morning after the Knicks for the recap show against Orlando on Wednesday, and we'll go from there. Juby, nice seeing you again.
You too, brother. Have a great day.
Peace. Zenray out.
All right, guys. That was Zenray with Zenray Sports TV. You can check out his channel. Got some good stuff. But like he said, defense was the key last night. We look like the old 90s Knicks team. If we can have that attitude moving forward to every game, we're going to win a lot of ball games. And it's going to be a fun year as long as we play that defense and we play team basketball and have continuity, like he said. With that said, guys, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. And as always, family above everything. Stay safe, guys. Peace.
We are the New York Knicks. 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 Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. We're back on track, here we come. League is starting 21 and the Knicks are on a run. And I'll tell you with Tip, we have bit too much to handle. With Barrett, Bullock, Burst, and Randall, it's the Knicks and we're taking back our place. Everyone's gearing up with a mask on their face. The guard's going crazy and they're doing it for a reason. 21 is the Knickerbocker season. You better believe the Knicks got all that it takes. We're shooting 3-pointers and we're running fast breaks. If your defense makes a mistake, then bam! Robbie Duncan's in your face. This is a team you don't want to miss. We are New York. We are the New York Knicks. Go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go! Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go! Say go New York, go New York, go! Go New York, go New York, go! So you're busted. All you hear is a switch with drives by Rose and quick with the dish. And no rebounds if that's the case. We put Nerlens and Taj in your face. We got a lead that'll give you fits. We are New York. We are the New York Knicks.